People talk about minerals. People think that every time, that we're in Congo, that we want to steal Congolese minerals. Do you know that minerals are not even the most important trading item that we have in the Congo? The Gisenyi-Goma border is the busiest border, I think, in Africa. Almost 60,000 people crossing on a daily basis. That's an important market. So we cannot be again the same people who want this important market, be the same people that want to create a war in the Congo. No, we trade in other important commodities, especially food items. Beans, meat, maize. Those are the biggest trading products that we have in Congo. Minerals are a very small component of the trade balance that we have with the Congo.
Welcome again to our YouTube channel. Today we have a special guest. I would like him to introduce himself to the audience.
Thank you very much. My name is Arthur Asimwe and I'm the Deputy Chief of Mission of the Embassy of Rwanda in Washington, D.C.
Okay. You've been following news talking about DRC crisis. What is, in simple words, what is the main reason for this conflict? So many people get confused about the conflict. Can you elaborate the main reason of this conflict?
Oh, the conflict in DRC is a long one. It's a long story. It has a mix of historical problems, but also internal weaknesses within the DRC itself as a nation. I mean, historically, the Rwanda funds that are in Eastern Congo for all these years have been victims of discrimination, of torture, of killings, and have been denied their rights as citizens of Congo. And this forced them to pick up arms and fight for their rights, fight for their survival. And unfortunately, the crisis escalated into a full-fledged war, simply because the DRC administration or the DRC leadership has failed to sit down with these people and have a discussion, an open discussion, and have a peaceful political settlement of their issue. So partly one of the reasons is because of the historical colonial era mistake that was done, where a big portion of Rwanda funds found themselves on the side of Congo, naturally becoming Congolese, but of course with strong links to Rwanda, because we share almost the same culture, same language, but they are Congolese on the side of Congo. So the fact that they have been denied their rights as citizens of Congo created this problem that we have. But the other issue that is causing problems is the internal leadership of Congo itself. Failing to put the acts together and understanding that this is their own internal problem that can be solved by them. And our leadership in Rwanda has always said that it's an internal Congolese problem that needs a political solution. And the Congolese, if they understand this fully and well, it's a problem that can be solved instantly.
And numbers say that about 120 armed groups are in Congo. How did this region become unstable?
Eastern Congo is an area that is detached from Kinshasa. It's almost 2,000 kilometers to Kinshasa. So it has been for all these years, even from the colonial times, it has been a place that has lacked governance. So it is an area that has been overtaken by all these numerous rebel groups or militia groups because of absence of governance. Like you said it rightly, almost 120 or 150 different armed groups operate in this area, largely because there is absence of leadership structures in place, and so it becomes a safe haven for all sorts of bandits, including the FDLR. FDLR, as you know, is the group that committed genocide in Rwanda and crossed into the Congo, and from there they have been planning to return and finish what they never finished. That's a genocide, and they have been a source of the conflict that is ongoing. Our leadership has always said that disarming and repatriating FDLR is important. But unfortunately, what we see on the side of our colleagues in Congo is instead integrating the FDLR, this militia group, into the mainstream army and causing all sorts of insecurity for us as a nation.
Okay, and you are seeing what the international organizations, what the world is doing. They say about 6 million people died since 1990 until now. Why do you think like the international is paying less attention to this region?
Yes, the international community has not had a firm hand in solving this problem. But again, at the end of the day, you need to ask yourself, what's the international community? International community are nations. So the burden again comes and falls on the shoulders of nations themselves. In this case, the Congolese themselves. They must put their acts together. They must be able to have a strong leadership that is, mindful of its citizens and puts in place all the governance structures that are needed across the country, so that it becomes a functioning state. So the international community, yes, it has failed, including the likes of the UN peacekeeping force in Eastern DRC, MONUSCO, that has in a way become a source of creating confusion and escalating the crisis instead of solving it, as their mandate should be guiding them. So the international community, for now, and especially with this crisis, what you can expect is for them to try as much as possible to tell the Congolese that the current crisis cannot be solved by the bar of the gun. The current crisis can only be solved by a political solution, and the political solution that includes these rebels, M23, that they need to sit together on the round table and find a solution. And the region, as you saw today, is willing to support them.
And what do you think should be the solution? Is it the peace talks, or? Oh
yes. When I talk about a political solution, it's sitting down, discussing. M23 have their grievances, they have their issues, which are very well understood and known. And they have demanded that, we need to talk with the government in Kinshasa for us to be able to have a peaceful settlement to this crisis. But unfortunately, the people that are in Kinshasa do not see this as important or as a priority for them. Instead, they try to hoodwink the world by exporting the problem to Rwanda, saying Rwanda is the cause of the crisis. There's no reason as to why Rwanda would want a war with Congo. I've always told people that Congo is a very important trading partner for us. Congo, a peaceful Congo, is in the interests of our country, because peaceful Congo means a peaceful movement of people and goods and open trade. The Gisenyi-Goma border is the busiest border, I think, in Africa. Almost 60,000 people crossing on a daily basis. That's an important market. So we cannot be, again, the same people who want this important market, be the same people that want to cause insecurity or create a war in the Congo. No, the times of war, times of fighting gone. What we're looking at is meaningful trade, meaningful investments across the border, and that's what Rwanda has been yearning for. A peaceful Congo is in the utmost interest of Rwanda.
And talking about that, the Congo always blame Rwanda to be behind the M23. But the president of Rwanda, His Excellency Paul Kagame, said that's a scapegoat that Congo used to not to solve the question. Do you believe that? What's your? I know people have been hard about that.
M23, the origin of M23 is known. In 2012, when M23 emerged, and there was a regional initiative to solve the problem. The people that crossed over to Rwanda were disarmed and taken far away from the border of Goma. They were taken to Chibungu. We did our part. This is the group that crossed to other neighboring countries are the ones that came back recently to attack Congo. And now the problem is shifted to Rwanda. Yes, M23 are people that most of the people that are there, they speak in Rwanda. But they're Congolese. They're fighting for the rights that are well known. They have put their grievances out there, and everybody knows what their wishes are. But unfortunately, instead of taking this issue seriously and understanding that it can only be solved through dialogue, through political discussions, our friends across the border think for them it has to end by means of war, and failing to acknowledge that M23 is a legitimate entity in Eastern Congo, thinking that by saying it's not M23, it's Rwanda, exporting the issue to Rwanda, they think they are solving the problem, but that's not the case. They have to be able to sit down with these people and have a discussion and find a solution. And like I said, everybody is willing in the region. Everybody is willing to support dialogue.
Okay. This case is so much complicated so that the international media most of the time are biased. You've been the director of Rwanda Broadcasting Agency for a while. What do you think the international is always biased for this?
The international media Africa has never been of any interest. For them, they know there's no good story that comes out of Africa. The international media is owned by foreigners, and for them, any story in Africa is a story that has to be disease, hopelessness, crisis, and they fail to dig deep and understand the underlying causes of some of these problems. They pick things from the surface. They don't labor enough to go into understanding the context, understanding the origin of the problems, understanding why, for example, a group like M23 emerged, and examining whether indeed they have legitimate concerns. For them, they're interested in picking things on the surface and running with headlines and failing to understand and dig deep and get the right context. And so that's how the international media works. It has always been biased, and mainly because they don't take time to understand the root causes of some of these issues that we have.
You mentioned it in your speech. What do you think youth should do, Rwandans or anybody who knows the truth about this issue?
The Rwandan youth, especially here in the United States, they should be active, engage, be able to explain that this is a crisis that has never been in the interest of Rwanda. That this is a crisis that has been imposed onto our nation by the Congolese themselves. That Rwanda would want a peaceful Congo because we benefit a lot. People talk about minerals. People think that every time that we're in Congo, that we want to steal Congolese minerals. Do you know that minerals are not even the most important trading item that we have with the Congo? When cross-border movement is active, we trade in other important commodities, especially food items, beans, meat, maize. Those are the biggest trading products that we have in Congo. Minerals are a very small component of the trade, of the trading sheet, if you say, of the trade balance that you have with the Congo. So it is in our interest to have a neighborhood that is peaceful. We have made a lot of investments in infrastructure, a lot of investments in areas that are promoting trade. These investments we're making are for us to be able to get returns and transform the lives of our people. We cannot be the same people that are investing in in one-stop borders, investing in road infrastructure, putting in place all the investment incentives. We cannot be the same people again who would want an insecure environment to affect all these investments we put in place. So a secure geopolitical environment is important for Rwanda, for us to be able to continue with our journey of transforming the country through, as part of the many ways, through an open, transparent trading relationship with our neighbor.
Thank you for the interview. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for your time too.